I'm gonna get the book of Jeremiah because, like I said, the Lord said we were sottish. Book of Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish; they have not known me, and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're supposed to come back to your law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, Yahweh, Yahweh. But people aren't coming back. Like I said, it's a beautiful thing that you're an Israelite, but now what? You're supposed to come back to practicing and following the laws, statutes, and commandments. You're supposed to do what's ordained and commanded of you, seeking out wisdom, going to learn from some teachers, so you can push the correct doctrine, and then you're supposed to go out in the highways and byways to, spread this word. You got dudes that, were in the camps or got kicked out of camps or whatever, however Most High set it up, you know what I mean? Like, for me being in this truth, I remember when I wasn't in the camp, and it was one of the elders, and GMS Houston, he was the head of that camp, and then it was funny because, I was talking to one of the Akim about that. I was wondering what happened to him. Come to find out, he went out on his own. He got his own page, so, I was checking it out. And I guess through the Spirit, just one day, he didn't really go into detail. And I show you that he's really a humble, brother, because he didn't go into detail. He didn't, spit no venom. He didn't say anything bad about the Akim in his camp, or in the camp that he used to be in. He just said, when he was, taken out of the position, he didn't, cry or fuss. He just, that's the way the Most High wanted it. And I was looking at it like, well, damn, that's deep, because I was looking for a camp. I had messaged him a few different times, and, I didn't even know about the camp in Cleveland. And then now, years later, he's out doing it on his own when I didn't even think I had the spirit or, the power to do it on my own. He's doing it on his own. That just show you, that's a testament to, his faith and, how strong that brother is. So I salute him. The brother Tazapanya, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Barakatah. Keep up the good work. But, like I said, back to Jeremiah 4:22, it's like, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They haven't known me because they're not practicing. They're not trying to get to know him. They haven't even read this Bible. You got people that don't even know that, what's that, Exodus 15:3, that, the Most High is a man of war. What I mean? They think that he just some fucking love everybody, God, and it's coming to bring back, give back people daisies on that day of judgment, when the day of judgment in Amos 5:18 says it's a day of darkness. There's going to be all kinds of things going on. And, these people ain't going to be able to believe that this is all coming from, the Most High God. They don't love everybody because they don't take the time to get to know him. They are sottish children. And, I'm going to try and focus this in, because when you look at this, that word sottish, when you go, and I got a King James, when you go, see, it say stupid. So that he said they are sottish children, meaning they're stupid, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. And that's pretty much 2/3 of, Israelites, 2/3 of Jake. You know what I mean? You'll have a motherfucker, you could be hungry, he'll rather get you drunk, but you ask him for a couple dollars to get you something to eat, and he can't do that. You know what I mean? You have a dude that'll sit up there, and before they tell you about a job, they're trying to tell you, well, let's go do this to get some money. You know what I mean? Like, and it's all been set up from the beginning. But it is sad. But that's why it really is a true blessing to know this knowledge, because it gives you hope to go back to something, because a lot of these people don't have no hope. I'm hearing everybody complaining about Trump, and if you got any kind of sense, if you ain't completely fucking crazy, you know that you can't do nothing about what Trump doing. I'm watching him. It's just so funny, and like I said, it's a beautiful thing, because like the apostle said, this guy is the perfect guy for this time, and things are speeding up so much. It must be the spirit. But just like the other day, I was on the internet and I was listening to him talk about that tax bill that he, which it has passed. You know what I mean? And I think it passed in the House, but now they're waiting to pass it in the Senate or something like that. But I'm hearing everybody criticize it, talking about is, once again, all these tax breaks for the rich, and not really that many for, the middle class and the poor and all that, which it always is like that. So what would you think that? Why would you think that it would be so different now? Sod is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy came for money, got more money than you could ever think to do with, and yet still they thinking this dude is about to, he really about to really start fucking everybody, because when you go into that tax plan, it talks about how that's why it was so many tax incentives for, the businesses for equipment, because, like the article I was kind of reading yesterday was saying how, basically, because, we're in an age where technology is, we don't even know what all they can do. I mean, we have a hint from things we've researched and whatnot, but, you don't know all the technology these people have. But we're in an age of automation, you know what I mean? Like, you got robotics out here that they got robots that, kind of look like people, that can actually learn, Google got an AI system, like, it's just, so when they're talking about replacing these McDonald's workers with robots, it's truth to that, you know what I'm saying, but people don't see it, that's why he's giving them people, those big businesses, incentives, yeah, he might try and bring people back or businesses back to the United States, but you better see where you fit in at. Like, a lot of that manufacturing, CNC and all that shit, you got robots that could do that, you know what I mean? So, and that was basically what the article's about in a nutshell, it was saying how it's a whole bunch of tax incentives for, people to, bring in equipment that's automated, so only time will tell. But I'm going to end this lesson, or this quick, these quick videos, because, like I said, at the end of the day, you're Israelite, but what is your next step? Come back to your power, and start following the law, statutes, and commandments. But, like I said, in the book of Zechariah, I'm going to read it, 13 and 8. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So, there will be a remnant. And I will bring the third part through the fire. So, it's basically saying the 1/3 going to catch hell. They're going to be afflicted. But the fire is to purify you. You know what I mean? Because Shalachya, the fire is a purification agent, That's why metals are put in high degrees of temperature, to get all those impurities out of them. And I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. And that's what we doing now, Hopefully we're the elect number, but that's why we go out on the highways and byways, to do what's commanded of us, as well as to call on his name so he can make a speedy riddance of this wicked ass place. But you got to keep in mind that, like I said, everything is at his timing, you know what I mean? Even the Most High God, well, even the Messiah, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, doesn't even know the day he would come back, to destroy this wicked ass place. But I'm going to leave this lesson on this note. For those that aren't going to come back, this is what awaits you. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, Verse 1. Hear the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, ye children of Israel. For Yahweh have a controversy with the SALACHYA, with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai in the land. So basically, no matter why people thinking that he's going to create jobs, like I heard some goofy shit today about how you had some people all at like I was at this soup kitchen, and I'm hearing people say just last year I was, Trump is doing such a great job, last year I was homeless, I was in a shelter, and now, and I'm listening. Now, mind you, it's already been known, he's already put it in effect. He's cutting, the housing. So it's going to be fucking funny when these people, when he show his horns and show you the devil he is, because, I could laugh at it though, because, man, as terrifying as the Most High God is, he does have a sense of humor. I mean, to hear these people say this shit, I'm listening like, wow, for real, like you do know if you did get like some funds to get a little spot, or you on Eden or one of them little housing programs, that shit is about to be cut though. It's already in effect. Well, it's already been signed. It's got to wait to take effect. So, at the end of the day, no matter who you think, as far as man, I believe in the Psalms it says, never put your confidence in me, and I think it's Psalms 118 or something. But don't trust man. Matter of fact, let me find that. Found that as a spirit. Psalms 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in Yahweh than to put confidence in man. So, why people just trust him, oh yeah, he's doing a way better job than Obama and all that. When Obama was set up, he was set up. And like I said, this cracker's moving quick. Like I say, do you know how much stuff he's doing? Like, I was going to do this on another lesson, which I'm still in, but I'm just going to briefly mention it. Have you seen all the stuff that he's moving and shaking, to be for real, like if you ever went and checked into the guy Elon Musk, the guy that's got that company Tesla and, got that SpaceX, company with the private tours of, outer space, the private space shuttle, they trying to do, it's a company that basically is a private company that's, doing tours, and they want to basically colonize like other planets, and but he got his hand in so much different stuff, like he what's that Hyperloop, that new transportation system they trying to come out that's going to bore the tunnels through the ground, and it's going to be like off some futuristic shit. And then he's got that Neuralink product that he's basically trying to link the human brain to the computers, but then he's supposed to be against artificial intelligence. And, it's just, you can see, well, I can see through the spirit that, this guy is like, ain't shit, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, my point of bringing him up, because like I said, I'm going to do another lesson on him, but the point is he's going to, he when I researched him a little bit, he's a member of the Explorers Club, which James Cameron and I believe Benjamin Franklin were members of. And if you know anything about Benjamin Franklin, he was off into all kinds of shit. And then, he was an advisor to, he's got all these pictures he had with Obama. That's why Obama was so much on the technology side, because behind the scenes, or if he was going to hunt for, Obama was doing a lot of different stuff. And Trump is as well, but the guy Elon Musk was actually an advisor to Trump, but he basically quit the position after Trump fell out of the Paris Climate Agreement. So, this guy, I can't say for a fact because I still got to do more research, but, this guy got to be connected, what I mean? And, like, basically he trying to bring us into, the movies that we watch, like I said, he's literally developing, some kind of chip to go on your head to hook up with the computer. And what's that, Revelations 13? I mean, if that ain't the mark of the beast, you know what I mean? I mean, it don't matter where you put the chip at. I believe that, like the apostles and elders say. Thirteen and 60. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So like I said, when you think about that, he's literally wants to put some kind of chip or machine in your head so you can link up with the computer. If he ain't sounding like a goddamn devil, then you really, really lost. Back to Hosea 4 and 1. Like I said, it says, Yahweh has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. So Yahweh is going to do this. He doesn't like, he has a controversy with this place. So thus saith the Lord is going to be destroyed. Because there is no truth. No truth. You know what I mean? Look at all the lies. Look at all the lies we're hearing about, you know, just from, you know, the election, just from everything. Just from the picture of Cesare Borgia, you know what I mean? You know, and then you got people that got the nerve to call us racist. But at the same time, wasn't it pretty racist for you to sit up there and read this description of the Messiah in Revelations 1 and 14 and then paint a picture of him as a white man? And then, like I said, that's common knowledge. If you take the time to go look, you know, you find out, you know, I've read things on the internet where it says that Leonardo da Vinci and, you know, Cesare was, you know, lovers. So, you know what I mean? That's the whole point of, you know, I know that he was commissioned, but, you know, what I read, it said that he was so in love with Cesare that that's why he painted him. So, you know, just is no truth in this fucking wicked ass place. By swearing and lying, killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood toucheth blood. And that's the whole premise of this fucking white man's empire. They stole this land. They steal other lands, you know what I mean? They steadily, you know, like their whole monetary system is to put you in debt, you know, because the money's not real. So they're really banking on you signing over or not being informed and signing shit that you don't understand to basically put you in debt. Like, the whole system is usury. When you really find out about the banking system, where the bank can loan 10,000, but they're only required to have 1,000 in the bank, but they can. So where the other 9,000 come from? You know. So they lying, but then if you default on that loan, they gonna come take your hard assets like your home or your vehicle, you know. So that's stealing. I mean, blood touches blood. Like I said, look how many times they lied to the Native Americans, swindling them out. They broke all those treaties, you know, and they blood cry out just like, you know, the so-called black man's. Therefore, verse 3, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. And we languishing. I mean, look at SALACHYA, languish, which means waste away, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of the heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. And if you take the time to look at it, like I remember the last few years, I just see all these birds, you know, lying on the pavement dead. You know, you see all these fishes that's, you know, beaching themselves and just dead. Verse 4, yet let no man strive nor reprove another, for thy people are, SALACHYA, for thy people are as they that strive with the priest. And that word strive, it really means contend. So, you know, that's how it pretty much has always been. You know, you've had a few times in history where, you know, the prophet would come out and, you know, do the Lord's commandments and, you know, try and turn Israel back. But majority of the times, just like now, you know, they contend against the priest, you know what I mean? But you do realize what happens, you know, when you contend against the priest, especially if the Most High God, Yahweh by Yashem Yahushua, is dealing with them, you know, you get put to death. Verse 5, therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. Verse 6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge of Yahweh by Yashem Yahushua, you know, the knowledge of this book, the knowledge of the laws, statutes, and commandments. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, you know, and like I said, that was my whole thing. Now that you know you're an Israelite, you're supposed to be following the laws, statutes, and commandments. But because you rejected the laws, statutes, and commandments, the knowledge, it says Yahweh, or rather it says, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. So meaning, in that day, because you forgot the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, you didn't want to hearken onto the word of the Lord. You didn't want to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. You didn't want to take heed and do the Most High's will. He's going to forget about you and your loved ones and your children. You know, there's going to be times, like I said, it's scriptures where, like I said, to show you how they really truly suffer for lack of knowledge. You know, it's scriptures in the Bible where people talking about they know the Most High God, where the Most High God had people eating their children. You know what I mean? I'm going to end on that note. But in the book of 2 Kings, book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, verse 25. No, I'm going to start at 24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. So that was the capital of Israel, because you had the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Jerusalem was the southern, and Samaria was the northern. Verse 25, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of doves dung for 5 pieces of silver. So basically it was a siege, and, you know, so because they couldn't get food in, you know, it was a famine, and, you know, it was hyperinflation, you know, food was super expensive to the point they didn't have some, you know, food, that they were actually selling, you know, shit. That's what dung is, shit. Verse 26, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help my lord, O king. Verse 27, and he said, if Yahweh do not help thee, when shall I help thee? So he's saying, if the Lord ain't helping you, why should I help you? Out of the barn floor, out of the winepress. Verse 28, and the king said unto her, but then he asked her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So that's pretty much showing you that they was doing so bad that 2 people came to agreement, 2 women, to eat their children. And to show you how 2/3 motherfucker is, I mean, the Most High ain't dealing with you if He's gonna let the spirit get on you you gonna eat your loved one. But that's how cold the Most High God is. But to show you, you know, made me think of a 2/3, because, like I said, she's basically coming to the king saying, well, you know, they agreed to eat each other's kids, one on one day and one on the other. But I'm gonna let the scripture speak for itself. But basically, after they done ate the one chick, after they ate her son, the one that was complaining to the kid, Salachya complaining to the king, she reneged on it and didn't want to, eat her son, just like a two-third nigga. But verse 29, so we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. And this is how, distraught the king was. Verse 30, and it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent, meaning he tore his clothes. So basically he was in mourning. He tore his clothes and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. So he was in a state of mourning, you know what I mean? And like I said, you can't even tell, like I said, I know of multiple people that they're thinking that they know the Most High God because of the simple fact they go to church every Sunday, and, because they got somebody, tell them, oh yeah, pay your tithes and, come and worship and everything gonna be all good, and God dealing with you because of the fact that, you got that new car, sister, you know what I mean? But that's not the case, you know what I mean? Like, what? I hope a lot of these fake-ass pastors, when shit go bad, that the Most High God let a congregation, or let his congregation or hers, because we such in a backwards-ass place, where you got female fucking pastors now, and don't get me wrong, I know it's accounts in the scriptures where women did things, but majority of the time, like I said, I'm going to finish on this note. Majority of the time, the Most High God deals with men. Women have a part, but like I said, that's the thing. There's no order, and the Most High God deals with order. Verse is Revelation 21, verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua himself shall be with them and be their power. So, the Most High God and the Messiah, Yahushua, Hamashiach, they deal with men, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, like I said, it's a couple different instances where women were raised up and used, but it was for the Most High God's purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, but at the end of the day, I just hope this, lesson was kind of edifying, because like I said, the way it all worked out, I was amazed at how, like I said, you got people knowing that they Israelites, like how, the brothers in California was speaking on, Justin Bieber, no, not Justin Bieber, that wicked ass nigga Drake had that party or bar mitzvah where he, and he invited all the real Jews, you know what I mean? The word is out, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, our work ain't done, because it'll be done when the Most High God, removes us from off the highways and byways. So obviously everybody hasn't woken up, but just to hear that, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm out, and I didn't think nothing of it until the second time when I heard the guy sit up there and say, yeah, I'm a Hebrew, and I'm like, you're Israelite, and he like, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. But then after he said it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's good that you know that. But then it was like, what else? You know what I mean? Like, he looking like I'm not for sure, but through the spirit, he looking like a wicked ass nigga, looking like he up to no good, you know what I mean? Like, so that's my suggestion, because at the end of the day, it's one thing to know who you is, but at the same time, and that could be, a judgment from the Most High God to wake a person up to the fact of who they are, but then don't put the spirit on them to go do his will. You know what kind of judgment you're going to get for that? So, like I said, I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to the call, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity. Until the next time, Shalawam.